All right, welcome back, YouTubers, subscribers, channel watchers, bell clickers, and all that good stuff. Go ahead, and if you don't mind, get it out of the way. And if you hadn't already subscribe. Click down below, hit the bell so you get notifications. For all you people that have already subscribed, thank you so much for your help. Our channel is gradually growing, but it's at a steady pace. That's all you can ask for. Slow and steady wins the race. So we are here today. Our topic of the conversation, our little task on this video, will be to change out these Nerf bars. Some people call them tree kickers, some people call them rock sliders. I think technically for them to be rock sliders, they're supposed to be below. They're supposed to be below your skid plate. These are not. I guess maybe they could be tree kickers, but you know, they're not going to kick out much tree because they don't stick out past the fender. So in my opinion, they're really just Nerf bars. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take them off. We're going to put some in since this thing sits up so high. Allison has a little bit of trouble getting out of this thing, and of course now I do too as well. What, Yeti? What? And Yeti needs to be able to get in there too. We're gonna make some new ones, but I'm gonna use what size did he say this was? Inch and I think inch and 3/8. Well, this is inch and 3/8. We're going, yeah, 1/8 thick, inch and 3/8. We're going to, instead of laying it down flat, it is square tubing. Instead of laying it down flat, like what you see when they're made out of square tubing, I'm going to rotate it, and we're going to get the point to where it's up, and that'll make most of our cuts be compound angle cuts, but I think it'll look really cool. And we're going to bring it back here. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it out back here yet, but we'll work through that on the video, because I do want to bring it out some little further than what it sets out here now, and a little further back to help protect the fender, and plus make it a tree kicker. Not so much sure that I'm gonna make it a rock slider. I don't really want rocks banging into it real bad. So I mean, I got plenty thick enough skid plate down here, so I don't need it to set down for skid plate protection. But I am going to do something up here for a step, whether it be a etched aluminum plate over it, whether it be some tread plate material over it, but I am going to put a step up here to aid in us getting in and out of the machine, having somewhere to step on. The other thing we're going to do is Polaris, or somebody online, makes bolts that are L-shaped. They're called L bolts. I'm just going to hold these like this, but we're going to cut and make our own. They're called L bolts that will go inside that tube and turn, and then when you spin it, it catches it. That way you can put an actual nut on here. Because if you'll notice, these, and most common way of holding these on is to go back into the factory hole that's here. It's already threaded into the frame. There's another one back here at the back, and once I pull these off, you'll see it. I'm going to leave these on here for right now because we may be going riding here in the next couple of weeks. If I don't get these done, I'm going to have to leave these on. There are holes back here behind here. I'll show you later on in the video that I want to get these bolts in there and get them to where we can use these, which will make it a lot stronger and stouter. So in case it does hit some rocks or something like that, it doesn't bend, because we've pulled these out once before already. So yep, pulled yours out several times as well. So anyway, we'll cut to the chase and get started here in a minute. See you in a few minutes. So right now we're making these right here. We're making these L brackets, these L bolts. That will go in here. They go right in here, like so. You can buy these, or you can make them yourself. So I chose to make them myself. So I'll show you how we're doing that. Taking 2 bolts, cutting the heads off of them, and we're going to weld them together. There you go, one headless bolt. Yeah. Good. All right, so right now what we're doing is we're making these brackets here. We're going to place like here. And we've got ones like this. I cut these out of flat bar. They're going up here. And the other ones like this that go right in there. And you see the L bracket here. It goes in there like that. And then we've got the factory screw that goes in this hole right here. So we're going to make plates like this. Drill holes in them. So the factory screw goes in one side. And this L bolt will come all the way through. That way. And this is basically this piece here, but a lot beefier. You see the difference. See the difference. Where these before, these rock sliders before, or tree kickers, Nerf bars before, it was just held on by this little tiny bolt right here. And then we're going to replace it with this bolt. Bigger is better. But that's what we're making. We're making this plate right here. This is pretty much how the tree kicker is going to set. It's going to be turned in a little bit, but it's going to come up here and come out here, and we'll have another brace right here. So we'll show you more of that in a little bit. Just wanted to kind of catch you up to speed on these. We'll go to the drill press and drill holes in them now. Here's one that's already done. There's the big one for the big bolt. There's a small one for the small screw that goes into it. So we're just making more of these. I have already center punched the hole. I think you can see that right there and right there, so that the drill bit does not wander around and misdrill the holes. So there are different spots as far as latitude and longitude on here. So we're drilling all these holes first, then I'll move the clamp and we'll drill those holes second. Now I'm gonna hit it with the grinder and knock those burrs off the back. All right, so here's all 6 of our brackets. It goes on the machine itself, on the razor itself. The back 2, driver side, passenger side. The middle 2, driver side, passenger side. And the front 2, driver side, passenger side. Big bolt holes are drilled, the small ones are drilled. So next is to finish cutting the tubing, the square tubing, and getting it tacked together for the tree kicker itself. All right, so where's the thing at, Chase? Let me set it up for a second. So the razor part's gonna sit right there. Now it's gonna have a plate, a flat bar plate underneath it, a metal flat bar plate underneath it. This whole thing's gonna be powder coated sky blue to match the rest of the razor, the blue donkey color. So then you'll see all this right here, all this etching through that. Kind of like, it'll look like this down there. That's what it'll look like. You'll see that blue through that. The reason we're doing this, because we're using this for a step, kind of like a Nerf bar, sideboard, running board step, so the Allison can get in and out a little easier. This thing sits up so high. This is aluminum. Don't need to powder coat it. It won't rust. This will get bolted. The flat bar goes on here, gets welded on here, gets powder coated along with everything else. This will get bolted to that. So that way your foot goes on this, you get traction, and then of course I can pressure wash all that out. And if it ever gets to the point where I can't get it out of there, I can unbolt this. Or if I need to have them re-powder coat, I can unbolt this and take it off. There's the crossbar. I'm just working on the angles a little bit here. So I cut all this in my porta band. Got a little bit of a gap there, a a little bit of a gap there, so I just need to take off a little bit right there, a little more right there, and that will allow that to sit down a little further there, and also make it sit down further there. Are you done with that piece? Yeah, you can have it back. Razor piece. These type of discs are the best disc, kind of like a buffing disc or whatever. Metal blending bits, what they called. Metal blending disc. I'm sorry. They leave you a little bit more of a polished look. They take off a pretty good bit of metal at one time as well. They leave you more of a polished look. I always like to bevel the edges just a little bit. Allows you the weld to sit down there a little better. About right there. Now we just need to cut that straight off, and that way our cap's going to be back here instead of being on top. It's going to be on the back side. There we go. There's your mark. All right, so we're gonna start putting these pieces in here. I've already pre-cut these angles, angles. Actually, I got to take this one over there and angle this a little bit more. It can't be exactly at a 90 because these plates aren't exactly at a 90. You can see it's a little bit of a gap there. Yeah, you can weld it up, but it'll look a lot better if we didn't have to weld it up. So we want it to be level, kind of like this one. I've already done this one. I've already cut this in a little bit of an angle there. And the goal is sitting down, it hides the bolts, but I can still access the bolts and the nuts from underneath. So it's not like you have to take these things off very often, but if you do scratch it, bend it, whatever, you need to get it repowder coated or something like that, you can take them back off. So anyway, I'm gonna tack this one, and then we'll move back here to that one right there. And then we got one up here as well. Be careful about your plastic. What plastic?
Be careful about your plastic on your razor.
It looks good melted.
Yeah, do you want to use a heat blanket or
no? I'm just tacking it on. All right, there it is. It's all tacked together, ready to come off.
Nice.
And they put back over on the bench and weld it up solid. And then we're moving to the other side. It's already been kind of semi-tacked together as well. Damn, good Lord, Jandis. Good Lord, Jandis!
I've been saving that for you.
Farted right into my butthole. It's like a fart transplant.
So I've cut some plates out of this flat bar. It's 4-inch flat bar. This will go on the step. I'll show you in a minute. But underneath here, this gets powder coated blue, sky blue, and then this goes on top of it and gets bolted down. That way, this is the step. Put your foot on here and you twist your foot, whatever. It's not scratching the powder coat. It's just scratching this aluminum plate, which is going to not be powder coated. This will be bare aluminum. All right, I'll show you that in a minute. All right, there we go. There's a plate weld on there. Now this is going right there to be bolted down. Ooh, it's a little hot still. Oh yeah. Fresh out of the oven. Still a little warm. That's where that goes on there. All right, we're going to clean this up a little bit. And then get some holes pre-drilled in it. We'll put caps on this end and a cap on this end. And this one will be done and ready for powder coating. There you go. Anyhow. There you go. All right. Go. Open the door and try her out. There we go. Oh, it's the jack stands underneath the machine.
Jack stand's stopping.
Yeah. Yeah, the things ain't moving. There you go.
Several days later.
Days later, we got our tree kickers back. They're nice and powder coated, that sky blue. To match the blue on the razor. And then we're gonna bolt this on here, like so. And then we will be mounting it on the side of the machine. So now look at that, ain't that pretty? That's Budamus. Budamus Maximus. Yes, I know before everybody hits a comment, I need to polish this up. I'll polish it up. I will polish it up. But right now, I want to get it on the machine and see how it fits. All right, good deal. All right, that side's on. Let's try it out. Have at it, test dummy.
Test dummy number 1. Oh yeah, look at that.
Woohoo!
Now we're gonna be getting comments saying people want these.
There you go.
That's perfect.
That way all your foot traffic stays right there on that piece of aluminum and you're not scratching anything up. And then hopefully I can pressure wash any mud that gets in there out.
Check it out. That is amazing. Woohoo!
Oh, that'd be cool. Get him, Yeti.
All right, you got it rolling?
Uh-huh.
Is it on? So you can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so we got these washers in here so that when you tighten this thing, these bolts down, it's not smashing the plastic. It's not smashing against the plastic. There's no void back there. It sits on these washers and then smashing down to the frame. So that way it's not actually using the plastic as a spacer. All right, bring it to me, buddy. Hold this up over here too. I'll get a nut on it. I'll hold the, you got it?
Let me tell you a little story about how I was raised. Everyday work, everyday pray. God, family, friends, yeah, everybody sins. A winner never quits and a quitter never wins. Help folks in need, don't fall for greed. A jealous man is weak, so think before you speak. If you love them, let them know. If you hate, let it go. Fast can be fun, but sometimes you need slow. God is all good, the devil is so real. So listen up, y'all, cause this is how I feel. I won't back up, I don't back down.
All right, there we go. So there's your rock slider. I'm sorry, I called it a rock slider. Tree kicker, there's your tree kickers. custom built tree kickers. Probably about total build time, I'd say about 12 hours. By the time you measure all your stuff out and cut them. Now, you could very easily build another machine at the same time and a lot less time, because they are cookie cutter. The angles, the measurements, it's all cookie cutter stuff. So I mean, you could build
In theory, they should.
one set in say 12 hours, or you could probably build 2 sets in 16 hours, maybe something like that. Maybe not even that long.
In theory, they should fit a general too, because it's the same size.
It's the same bolt
It's
pattern,
the same
and there you go.
distance from the bolts.
But I took it, if you'll notice, I took it, and it goes out further. The further back it goes out further to somewhat make it kick a tree around. You know, I'm not a big fan of the big tree kickers that come all the way out past the tires. Not a big fan of those. I try to avoid trees like that, you know. So this is a mediocre style, I guess, tree kicker. Anyway, like, subscribe, click the button down below, all that good stuff. And pause for 1 second. I'm gonna give a shout out to the people that powder coat this thing. Ray City Powder Works, powder coating. Ray City Powder Coating in Mooresville, North Carolina. Give a big shout out to them. Great job, awesome job. 2-day turnaround. We're experimenting with trying to find a new powder coating facility that they may very well be the ones to do it. Thank y'all, appreciate it. Keep watching our stuff. Keep tuning in every Monday for new videos.